Hello dear readers, welcome to Nagaland Educational once again. In this video, we will discuss on important ancient Indian history MCQ with explanation on the topic of the Aryan and the Vedic Age. And all the questions will be very important for all competitive exam. And make sure that if you are yet to subscribe in this channel, please subscribe the channel and press the notification icon to get the latest update on this channel. So let's get started. Question number 1 is, the early Vedic people lived in the region of. Correct answer is option number D, that is Sabta Sindhu. Here, the early Vedic Aryans lived in the area known as Sabta Sindhu, meaning an area of 7 rivers. And these are largely covers the northwestern part of South Asia up to the river Yamuna. The 7 rivers include Sindhu, Vedasta, Jhelum, Asakini, Chenab, Varshni, Ravi, Beas and Satluj, and the Saraswati. In this area, the Rigvedic people live, fought battles, grazed their herd of cattle and other domesticated animals. And question number 2, which river were not mentioned in the early Vedic period? And here, the correct answer is option number C, that is Narmada. Here, Mahanadi, Narmada, Tabi, Brayar, Krishna are 5 rivers which are not mentioned in Rigveda. Question number 3. The Dasarajna war, that is called the Battle of Ten King, was fought on the bank of which river? And here the correct answer is option number D, that is Ravi. Here, according to Rigveda, the famous Battle of the Ten Kings or Dasarajna Yuddha was between Sudas and Bharata, king of the Trisu family, and the confederacy of then well known in the bloody and decisive battle on the bank of river Broshni. The Bharatas emerged victorious. Question number 4. Which of the following is the primary occupation during the early Vedic period? And here the correct answer is option number B, that is pastoralism. Here, the people of the early Vedic period were basically pastoralists, which means that they earned their livelihood by raising livestock. However, they were familiar with sowing and harvesting. Reference to cultivation is made in the later part of the Rigvedic period. And question number 5. During the early Vedic age, which animals considered the most important form of wealth? And here the correct answer is option number D, that is cow. Here, during the early Vedic period, cow was the most important valuable property. Though the non-vegetarian food were consumed, cow meat was never eaten. The cow was also called Kutana, or the wealth of cow, during the Vedic period. And question number 6. Which of the following types of gold coins were used during the early Vedic age? And here the correct answer is option number D, that is all of the above. That means Nishak, Krishna, and Sadman. Here, the coins which were in circulation were Nishak, Sadamanan, and Krishnala. The unit value of goods was a gold bar called Nishak, weighing 320 radis, which was also the weight of Sadamanan. A Krishnala weighs 1 rati, that is 1.8 grams. Question number 7. The term Rashtra, indicating territory, first appeared in the later Vedic period. True or false? And here the correct answer is option number A, that is true. Here, The term Rashtra first appeared during the later Vedic period. The wars were fought for territories and no longer for cows. The society, which was predominantly pastoral in the early Vedic times, had become agriculture. And question number 8. Which of the following was the head of the tribal polity during the early Vedic age? And here the correct answer is option number B, that is king. Here, the polity of the early Vedic period was basically a tribal polity with a tribal chief in the center. The tribe was called Jana and the tribal chief was called Rachna. Rachna looked after the affairs of the tribe with the help of other tribal members and two tribal assemblies, that is Sabha and Samiti. And question number 9. During the early Vedic period, Purohita was referred to. The correct answer is option number B, that is religious advisor of the king. Here, the Purohita was the chief advisor and temporal guru, spiritual teacher of the king. He accompanied the king in wars and prayed to God for his safety and victory. And some of the prominent Purohita referred in the Rigveda are Vishwamitra and Vasistha. And question number 10. Which of the following statements is correct which refers to early Vedic society? And here the correct answer is option number D, that is all of the above. That means in the early Vedic age, society was mostly patriarchal, and no prevalence of child marriage and widow remarriage was practiced. And question number 11. During the early Vedic age, Soman was considered to be the god of. The correct answer is option number B, that is Blans. Here, in later Hindu mythology, Brahman is selected as the name of the supreme creator of living beings. So Soman was prepared by extracting juice from the stalk of the certain plant, and the Soman god was god of the plants. And question number 12. In the early Vedic age, Indra or Purandar was the god of. The correct answer is option number B, that is breaker of forts. And question number 13. How many types of marriage were practiced during the Vedic period? And here the correct answer is option number C, that is 8 types of marriage. And here, there are 8 types of marriage, and number 1 is Brahman Viva, that is marriage of a girl with a boy of same Varna while observing all the Vedic rites and rituals along with dowry. And number 2 is Daiva Viva. Father donates his daughter to a priest as a part of Dakshina. And number 3, Arsha Viva, that is giving the girl to a man after accepting the bride. And number 4, Brajabhadya Viva, that means marriage without dowry. And number 5, Gandharva Viva, that is love marriage. And number 6, Asura Viva, that is marriage by purchase of bride. And number 7, Vaishya Viva, that is marriage to a girl after seducing or raping her. And number 8, Rakshasa Viva, that is marriage by abduction of a girl. And here, types of marriage based on Varna system. And number 1 is Anuluman Viva, that is the marriage of a man of higher Varna with a girl from lower Varna was called Anuluma Viva, that is it was allowed by the sacred texts. And the second one is Bradyoloma Viva, that is the marriage of a girl of higher Varna with a man of a lower Varna was called Bradyoloma Viva. It was not allowed in the texts. And question number 14. Which of the following were the important rituals performed by the king during the Vedic period? And here the correct answer is option number D, that is all of the above. That means Asvamitha, Vajpaya, and Rajasuya. Here, the Asvamitha or horse sacrifice was a ritual used to recognize men as rajas. A horse was left to wander freely if it wandered into another kingdom and the king of the kingdom stopped it. They had to fight. The raja was succeeded in the challenge was recognized as stronger. He would then perform the sacrifice in which other kings will also come. And the second one is Pajabia, that means was a Soman yajna, the offering of Soman form, an essential part of the yajna, along with killing of other animals. Soman was extracted thrice, and cattle was offered to Agni. Like the Rajasuya, the ceremony was preceded by a long period of considerations and sacrifices, and the sacrificer and his wife live an austere life in adjacent rooms or nuts. And the last one is the Rajasuya is a consideration ceremony which involves imperial sacrifice was performed by the kings of the past. Question number 15. During the later Vedic period, women were not permitted to attend assemblies. That is true or false? And here the correct answer is option number B, that is true. Here, during the later Vedic age, the position of the women had considerably declined. They did not enjoy the same position of the respect which was enjoyed by them in the early Vedic period. Women no longer participated in the sacrifice, nor called they own or inherit property. Whatever they earned was appropriated either by the husband or father. The women did not take part in politics and were not allowed to attend the meeting of Sabha or tribal assembly. And question number 16. In the later Vedic period, Taittariya Brahmana refers to. The correct answer is option number B, that is theory of the divine origin of king. And question number 17. In the Vedic period, Bhagadudha refers to. The correct answer is option number B, that is tax collector. Here, during the Vedic period, Bhagadudha was the revenue collector or tax collector. Question number 18. Which of the following statements is correct which refers to later Vedic society? And here the correct answer is option number D, that is all of the above. That means in the later Vedic, position of the woman decline, division of the society becomes more clear, that is Brahmin, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, and daughters become the source of misery. Here, during the later Vedic age, the position of the women had considerably declined. They did not enjoy the same position of respect which was enjoyed by them in the early Vedic period. Women no longer participated in the sacrifice, nor could they own or inherit property. Polygamy was practiced, especially amongst the ruling and other noble classes. They were not allowed to attend the meeting of the Sabha or tribal assembly. And question number 19. During the later Vedic period, which god was conceived as a preserver of the people? And here the correct answer is option number D, that is Bhushan. And question number 20. Which of the following is the god of Shudras in the Vedic period? And here the correct answer is option number B, that is Bhushan. And question number 21. The word Veda comes from the word Ved, which means. The correct answer is option number B, that is knowledge. And question number 22. During the early Vedic period, Varna system was based on. The correct answer is option number A, that is birth. Here, during the early Vedic period, Varna system was based on birth. The Varna system is discussed in Hindu texts and understood as idealized human callings. Traditional Vedic organization and scholars say that even according to the Bhagavad Gita, the Varna is birth-based only. Bhagavad Gita is considered as the essence of Vedas and Upanishads. Question number 23. What was Punjab called during the Vedic Age? The correct answer is option number C, that is land of 7 rivers. Here, in Rigveda, Punjab was mentioned as Sabda Sindhu of land of 7 rivers. The Sanskrit name for the region as mentioned in the Ramayana and Mahabharata, for example, was Panjanda, which means land of the 5 rivers, and was translated to Persian and Punjab after Muslim conquest. Question number 24. During the Vedic Age, the term Govikarta was used for. The correct forest department. Question number 25. Who was the head of village during the Vedic Age? The correct answer is option number C, that is Gramani. Here, during the Rigvedic era, the basic unit of bowered light within a patriarchal family, that is Kula, the head of the family was a Kulapa, a group of such families called Grama, which was controlled by a village headman called Gramini. The groups of the village belongs to a clan, Vis, and many clans made a community called Jana. Question number 26. Vedic texts were divided into two, that is Shruti, that is based on hearing, and Smriti, which means. The correct answer is option number D, that is based on memory. Question number 27. Rigveda has contained how many hymns and verses? The correct answer is option number C, that is 1028 hymns and 10580 verses. Question number 28. Which of the following is the diety river in the Rigveda? And here the correct answer is option number D, that is Saraswati. And question number 29. Which Veda is called the collection of melodies? The correct answer is option number B, that is Sama Veda. And question number 30. Which book has magical formula and contains charms and spells to ward off evil and disease? And the correct answer is option number A, that is Atharva Veda. And question number 31, the last question. Which book is also called the spiritual and philosophical in nature? The correct answer is option number B, that is the Upanishads.